abusunya Muslim for Francis Akrani. And then so ye share mo oh my god about channel this OGB for short. Abusunya de make Kenya says ene eda edi kan wotie me anase wo hwe me sa de make kan say ye be hwetwe komo your channel so. Then so what I will say and it's follow my god about via Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and Twitter. Or the makwan on after so video ya wo hwe so no whatever hwase at the right bottom corner no na subscribe this shouldn't take you more than 5 seconds when sakeke and ade me aso so you should touch screen computers na wote ho eno asa wo do mouse no echo subscribe button so na wa subscribe e dey amaye Omanga na baako ekubatan ya this is our mission that we are seeking to unite all Ghanaians both home and abroad. Ghana for yetu kwan yewa amanone enyina ene Ghana for e wo fie. So enkabo mu na eye. Our central message and say unity of purpose. So yeye ene no we are seeking to save the next generation. Kwame Nkrumah ma baby. Ya Santo ma baby ko. JJ Rawlinson ma baby ko. Ye wonpanifo bebre a wo esore ye ewo Africa memu Mandela no Emperor Haile Selassie no of Ethiopia Gaddafi no Magufuli no chese Jomo Kenyatta no we can go the list can go on and on and on and on nem asembisa me bisa ne se enne iso no ede na wo ye Ghana pride ene ho se yen ene ye the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to have gained our independence in 6th of March 1957. In 1960, Ghana became a republic. But 65 years down the lane, a hemfa and a drew. Ghana pride no ebio say almost every natural mineral resource or even in the African continent. Talk about gold, diamond, bauxite, manganese, oil. I mean, and I say, graduate them take across your send them to zinc. I say, I want someone you know be elbow. It is you can get almost everything in Ghana, and yet, say, oh my Ghana, Ubeda sorry no, na dollar rate, and I'm so. Ubeda sorry no, Nesabia will be a Buddha away, and answer what I call council. So we'll call China, and I will go Dubai, and answer baby, I will quiet council Ghana. You know, say very common ever. Won't call Emran. Sikano already told the Roman Sikano Asansana as why they shine. That means you have to add more. As Sembusana said, future I hear for now. Ebinum Air Predator said, the future is bleak. Ebinum Air can say, the future is so opaque and so hopeless. So Ghana has become a hopelessness nation. Now, OGB is not here to do any kind of political gimmick, I will say. If we say, oh my God, about yay, about time ejina 3 pillars be so. I'm in front of the 3 triangular pillars of OGB. That means point number 1, we are non-political, we are non-ethnic, and we are non-religious group. OGB empire home for the Sani Mami and Sam Bosui. Ebusiani tell me cancer if you say, Yenim Sani Amanosam, and now politics are empire for Swama, Edia Bray. Kogana, your mainstream media so. Sabre, Echinidia Ecoso, and the Atemo Ecoso. Politics of nuances. Politics ya emfa mpuntobia, emfa diane embeto obi sabi ni table so. Entimi tria kwa school fees. Politics a many power busia. Politics a many power for your friend say desert so. 2, your friend saying religion. African spirituality. Before sequence go by your kromo no. Na ya nyankasa dewo enema bi ewo ekromo na nso sabre ye re ye se nyano kro na yeso no na Ghana enso ye wo Ghana na edo so che enuma e wo Ghana enso ye wo Ghana na edo so che enuma e wo America asem say I say if all of us are serving and worshiping the same supreme being, I believe that there's a greater being out there. I believe that there's a supreme being, but the question is that supreme being, quite many of us were yes, finally, tribalism and answer ethnicity. Where you see me free, where you see me free, where you see me free. Enuma Sani Mano, Teddy, Ama, Enipa, Akodi, and Seme, Ewa Babia, Ennis Enipa Ekudi. Obeko adwuma mu no obi firi north a wose me fo obi ofiri south. So obi firi east a wose me fo obi ofiri west. Ebusua ensemi de wana ani enyan. Awariam esako. Na we na odi bi atrase se sa de ma we no e de enya. Na ebro no to say we stop all this kind of nonsense, you know. Now you cut it through every red tape. Now you will say we are all one people. That is the Republic of Ghana. And to all the central message here, I'm gonna kasaka say nani say we are calling for unity of purpose. And kabomwa but I ejinaso. And you better come on. Now me no penny bi all the way from Ghana. And I'm better come on. One what time and happy. Sabre what you my Ghana mo. Na enyema a wosia e wa kwantuo mu e na okoduru Ghana so enyema a no susua na wanya e wo ho no e na ye be compare and contrast empeni se wosuo nsuo na wosa aswansa uhu de emu do you can see the difference enti ne eno na ye be hwe e ho asam na ye die se bi se disi de meka atugara ni bi etimu se listen me quote from me my favorite quote bi quote or say the responsibility of every sovereign country does not solely rely on the privileged few. Africa, we have, your friend is saying, put all the responsibilities just on the privileged few, and yet we are all suffering. OGBC, yet the communal labor approach ever. One son say Ghana for a bread. Remember, you were Ghanaian, and no more some any Babeka. Ebusia, it is Sabri, baby, I will tell us already. Share your video, share this video. Say ya no pa, say ya wia, say ya najo, say ya homache. Mesere inso to a wia bro so ne to abusua share video e ma na foforo enya bintie na omunya bi so enhwe. Mesere wa video ya wo tie nso no komo ya hwehwa kwani masa wo comment bia no leave your comment down below. Odoma man onhira abusua mama yanko ene ne dapo no so e. Ana say asemplete no so. Na me read ne dapo no so. The African young generation and the future. The African young generation and the future. Africa, idea be ekoso. Ye cutting off your friends and slave trade, you know. And I prefer cotton as say. And I to tomorrow you go ban. You for more energy man. Now you create system say be attract any enemy. So they physically no, we are not going there for this. Your friend is saying slave trade need you. No more you for be your friend academic. Your friend is saying slave trade. You brainwash your enemy. And your bay idea, I would memono. Yes, oh, you have no scholarship. But I never seen idea. Now, your friend is saying, a community and international are public for, and I want more billion Africa continent. No, now I profit the scholarship. I'm out. Idea where idea akoso. This is post colonialism. And a lot of African youth, this the same, I will possibly a crew. A binum eba, obutimi de ose ayo, nyama bebre. America had typical example. NASA, Penia, only scientists, Penia, will lead you with a lot of things on that in him or a gun in him. Yenya Penny, my papa, Thomas Messer. What they fiber optic cable, a buyer, and internet, Yenya speed internet. Obi the Ghana, met me a friend, send me a so. Zoom, no name, blue jeans, no, any go to meeting, no name, and not of software here, a team, ye interconnected one, and the Facebook, no name, and I did for the matter, abbey, any now. Somebody for being so wow, through her, or what is not a top of Bruno. And 10 years, should the young generation, and then the future. A whole anything come on, ever far. And tea and sana, your friend is a commission, but my fa, and then me panelists and answer me guest ya. And then me no education come all the way from Accra, Ghana. Eya openi kwabna dako. Openi kwabna dako eti Ghana memo. Ono na mo hwe na wo ye kasa foni nsi. Mema ono akwanya kakra na wato ne bo ase introduce no ho. Sometimes ya na ye ne presenters na ye prepare ya ho. Obe kan bi ewo. Edi ne kura bi na wa mo ne yi. Me kai se wo bi Kwame Nkrumah te ase no na akwa bi wo ye ne ho ayesem sa. Wo so wo wie school me ne da. Na Kwame Nkrumah abana wo so wo nye your friend say twini. Na ye se bebo Kwame Nkrumah di na pese eja o man nsamana ne ansa. Afi wo na wo se o de foje ofofoje afi wenti me mo edin no. Ma Kwame Nkrumah eyi na die. Na me pese me ye o de foje ne ofofoje bia. Enti sabre ye wura obeda ko ye be ma wakọ aba o my Ghana ba ko e channel eso na sabre die enkomo ayi be twetwe ne be pese wankasa obey a little bit introduction of you what you stand for. Now you are the competition at the atos. Saturday, Simon at the moment, Mr. Obedako. Now, what was say about your introduction? Thank you very much.
All right. Nti Mr. Francis Medasi, me din de kwabna Obendako. Me go Pokwari School, me science and mathematics. Me call Kwame Nkrumah University, me engineering or agricultural engineering. And I call Europe Koye bioprocess engineering. Me name a business or Ghana. Nti your retail, fashion retail, or Ghana or multiple places. Or more so than we are also into property development. Nti SCC a rent autonomy and a bit of construction engineering works as well. Me YouTube channel friend Obendako on Facebook as well. And my trade book miensa bako the perspective how to develop the mindset to start and build your business. Another one, so streamline how to teach yourself money. It talks about financial education, and then there's resilience, and also how to develop courage and strength as an entrepreneur. So I know my way, many me uncle dia in so Sundays and Fridays for the last 2 years or Peace FM Mrantieno or Ghana no. Me say normal also mu. Now I'm going to bra away my enti. That's a bit about me. Me name Marie your mom yes. Oh, and you think
okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. You better say that is a hell of an introduction. I was just saying, I say, and you, Miss Oben, that once a week, come on, and someone coming to me, cow. If you come back, sometimes it's better. Say you hear from the horse's own mouth. Wabobra ni pa just say wako university wabo degree no bi just say wabo kumchacha be say wabo PhD wabo fafa wabo tosca just wabo bibi asa kokro ene abrofu yakosie ni asa ni bi eho and I say no wabe settle Ghana or the airboa now we say YouTube channel but your YouTube channel sa repeat YouTube channel no bi net here for
Obendako YouTube channel didn't Obendako into Obendako
now like Jomadi Ebena Udi what do you do YouTube channel?
Okay, you're entrepreneurship, personal development, financial education, or more personal property development, so your information be also and African dignity. It means that you're back osem and then see we see who and the positivity because me join say only your chrome phone be break asa unkasa nwie no na chese dodo no ano ohekra umpese obetra Ghana ne biem ana se okuteska kra umfama ni patuntum because of information sebe ye ka kire ho no se nipa ne te Ghana so te abrochire normal free yenum eba efa ye ho no dodo no ano enhye nkran and me join say sa normal no ni nyina na information because what you hear is what you think about, and what you think about is what you become. And so the more I want negativity, the more now once any panai hopeless. And so I don't want to be near church. Reports on it is amazing. And my name rantie even paying for more crash for I can see every send message. My kind book, my show video, my nyadwen foforo, my totomi no my ye. Me yen be grass dan ka me se Ghana de me mother. And so my team normal mokikano, me doing so me say try for and normal kikano be no.
Okay, thank you very much. There was something you said that caught my attention that not coming as I repeat. It was what you say or what you speak is what you become. Ebusia,
yes,
a very deep word. That is your first spirituality, African spirituality. Meaning, we say, if I say we elaborate a little bit on that before even we tackle questions now. The reason tell my makers when you say yes, negativity and positivity. Kill negativity in a kill Africa. Me kwesi broni kuro. Obroni wako adwuma mu kura no asembon ne bi ato no bisa no. I'm okay. I'm fine. Today has been a obroni ko kase bibi just say adeɛ ha no or da wo da wana wo was am okay minimo bi a wo da ye wo mpa so a wo wu na o smile na Africa de wo hia obi na bi me nua na te say wo se te say wo wiata so aba wo bi say te say wo se ohia ne enkwankom ye na me bi say mo say na ensem wo nyina afre hifa hwan na kire ye say bi ye ka ensem mu and sebi o etie for mani for nkwasi asem a ete say no who taught us that and some what is that me person who try just that word now use you know what you say is what you become young would a little bit of African spirituality no now young because they didn't come for Africa no until what I need you to further meaning say way out of the but just elaborate on that now etie for just so
okay
thank you
all right nipa wadwen no dia wodwen no eno na eda di wa abrabo na dia wodwen no information a wonya nsema wote no ma wodi oni hu eno na wodwen ho every day na no na ba abrabo eno na bo wode bobra na se wote nsema ehye nkran na mawo hope said that bia no be ya aboa na wote nkugo nsem wote the negatives every day as yen no say normal no won say so ohwea osua history mesua history pa obroni oba yekrom ha no omo de say omo be civilize ye enya no kore omo be civilize ye omo ba ye na wo normal bebre na ye ya na ye papa na ye na mo bofom na ye kunkunkunkum nipa de say de omo ka no history no yeti sese no te say de am roba bia ba ofie na wo be kuku nipa wo ho wasesa wo normal na wo wie no wo de jatum enti say wo pa evidence na wo hu ana ono wasa akotwere history story no foforo so obaye na mukunkum ho nti and that is the history ya kire say enti normally bebra broni baye a also break you no so wo japade bebre mo ho oden mo nye nipa fon but de wo no ohia and what try wontimi nya enti wo say okay ene say no yempe kwan bi so ne ma nkrofo we no mo nye ho ni mo fo mo ho nto fom yen kan job say bibi omo obi a enye enti na sebe uko school a otwi na wonim no udru school a yese kwa kambrofo mimi din kwa brother ko udru school a wo so ko fa broni din foforo eni se wo hye watade se wo hye kura ye ma ya ne bebre ayusu ne ye hye wivon na ye wo mpa ne ye pese ye tise broni ni nyina na ye design bi do no na school no mo de hye mu na nsore so mo tete ye no mo de hye mu enti wo hye a tuntum no sese no normal bebre a wo hu fa no ho no wonyini in fact wo hye America wo ho na wo se wo hye TV a normal on be ya fa Ghana ho no nyina ye basa ye wo ekrom ya enso normal so ye so ye be ya fa America ho ye fine nti sa brand ne te ha DNT na wo so wotena Ghana ha because bibia ya ka che ne bia na America ye heaven in fact obroni ba Ghana no wo se wo no nyame ne ene ne kwala ne nyina ye pe ti nyame ye broni asorobofo nyina ye abrofo wo ye no wo se tuntum no wo ne bonsam ye pe nti so hu tuntum hu bonsam picture tuntum hu friend say demons omu nyina tuntum ya sorry wo kwa atambia ho ye nananom na bosom ye de be so ye ho a wo ne be kire ye sa wo bia oba ya ensem hunu a wo be kire ye no na sa no ma we mu nyina is just the last 5,500 years na sa no ma we omo be ye but Africa no nyene na wo ho thousands of years back into before so broni ba be twantro no ne nyini pa na se na ne nimhwia se be nka yawu to oba ya yetimi atra services average se ne ni thousands of years before omoba me kan se so west na nipa na achichire na ode ahye wano no the more woka no na ogidi na me be Bill Gates twere bibi or say the poor Africa so under it I'm so just but if you continue to call us poor when are we going to succeed when are you going to be rich when you continue to call us poor people underdeveloped ni nyina ye technicalities abrofo no design ye wo mo de ahye come because wo nim the power of words who started offering growth ways or corrupt, bad leadership, backward people, unpolished, or kind of correct, or only see a Joe Moody, Sanomano continue. So it's a war of words. Now, words in a shape mindset. And to hear the mind of our people, we don't trust ourselves and we don't believe in ourselves and we look down upon ourselves. And yet, when we cross to the other side, broni de okano kre broni de waye ka ni nyina broni de onum nyansa ni nyina ye wesa sebe obi ne wevi e no de ashem ne so ye de yaso nti eno na ama the way you hu ewiase eni si hu ye ho no but me nyi saa no man and we bet my changes are no man also soon be beyond your broniaka and nunti and some of my books crown me deal with those things in it. So what you say with your mouth and no my through mobile or effect or see ni see we as.
Okay, that was deep. I was here and I'm and so no, I'm going to give you a follow-up question before we go there because questions I didn't cast a pie but cannot be a young person. But in some year, we no, Mr. Obeda, what the assembly ba. Mr. Obeda, what the assembly ba. A cassa. Then, why? Because when you would have got with it means I'm going to follow up on all those and make sure say you do justice to everything. Now, Nanka will call it to me per se, Ubersai, a prescribed solution. No? Ubuku no betuma de edina sa to dabra wo kasa the next you know say how because me so me hwehwe mu no ma hunu say Ghana nipa o modi probably 50 years and above no and some say no ka ya na yo madwemo kesene nti me enen komo no pese focus on the younger generation no because wo mo na daache no e yo modia but as we say bisa na say enya mpa say we o mo ye corrupt if you say the reality is that what we are seeing what they Ghana want out you from dollar ya sebi what done we send boat say dollar na we send boat me dollar so penny ye de amano ne yebo he me se wo ko se wo si wo send this cannot say na huri we send boat kwa na say kwa retire but dollar no so dey was all retire we Ghana da it they may be sad to say the reality on the ground Ghana for is ye free nyanoma what they say to us and then one kasa wo free akwantu na ko Ghana ne ma do ani hu no it doesn't suggest otherwise enti na eno no emma abrofin sem ya omo kan no ekwa bi so no corruption so ma me fa eno enwie kwahye no wo Africa ye leadership no passion a ewo omu mu eni sebi enema wasenko nimdia wasenko mo de esom baby e do akono bebre ya ya ma say ya ho kira na ekire so don't you think say it is right for people to make that conclusion say based on the evidence and the thing that people see no it is okay it's always okay because who person catch say say me yefu ye me yakra na me nka say da bi me ye monya me ye bia na me ye fa say ma kum me trimu but me nim say me ye aye me ya no kura so de ne ka no afa say da wa say ye ka nti wada roma kire ho ne mu na ye hu na obi nso a say bi ye ne ye say ya dum bi no ye hu kwa fa so ya dum bi thank you.
Asama me kai me nim se emu dodo no a no be ka so excuse ye blame broni and ye mpanyifo no bebrete sa dodo no amekura ma tipemfo no bebrete sa sebe so obi ye doctor etite no obetima fa medicine bi obeka ne din ba se pharmacist fa ne din a no o ka wonim genti a etisa ansa ne din kura waka yo words bi o how betima pronounce so enso so on kasa na now history is that kind of subject na o share school na buy na the so called because na ya school ya the training and crop for me na do jafi wan ko school that but obo ne bra sisi ne dan hwe ne ma Jessica no on to me trend and say me na enemy woman wonim or education but not the classroom now bronini ba award in education e ba no they use it as a weapon to break us. And the way I training Chinese are different. The way Arab for training who are different. The way Broni kura training who are different. Yen training ya de my school no. Umra na odwe ntise Broni. The way aname na ye ne normal no na na nko se de ko school mu ne ya kire me. The way ana mo fa so ekikire mo busua, mo yo musikasem, mo didwa. The way ana mo fa so yo mo kuya. Oh, the way ana mo science, mo technology ni nyina na o se ke kire ye. Mimi ko school no Einstein na ye bonidin Faraday Newton ya mo bibini bidin amama nteda na me pese mbisa se na science no abrofo na de ba ya na no nya abrofo no science o hwe pyramids e bi adi 5000 6000 years na science no mo de ye sebe ye na na mo nura no mo chekere na science ko timika se we minum we ase na beba na me kan susu say ye ka corruption ekrobia mu are they saying that America for politicians are corrupt? It's a lie. The only thing is omo no ma hihye nte se mra ye mranum corruption na mranum Into ojo enso omonye corrupt enye no correct. Obi a woyɛ serious politician bi anim say politicians ba bia nka no correct. Na Africa no ɔse use omo as scapegoat. Never forget say oba ha no wɔse yen design bi bia be kyerɛ say omo leaders kra omo nyi omo leader. Omo leaders, leaders, political leaders. It's something not today. Corruption no you cut to your so that nyene. Na political leadership na ye hu sese no. When it tete woman. Ehifa no mo ko school. Etia na de catch woman. Information be na de ma woman. Even government structure no kwa you run sese no. Sebe broni maye no. Sa politics we ni democracy ni party normal na ye run no, which is very expensive. Sa na ye. America for ko we ase bebre for slaves e run no. Nipa would find millions no mo ye adwuma for hundreds of years, you will not be a poor country. England, the same. Tons of your friends, trillions of gold almost for free Africa, particularly Ghana. Over the years of my store on to say country ni run the so-called democracy. Country or monon ko we ase enko war enko fanko for no man famation so no man say enya musikan. How then do you tell them say every 4 years your elections? Now, dollar na by force was say also you use dollar. Say dollar as a currency. When did it start? A weapon, any system or design here to keep themselves advantage. Companies say what Ghana ha to go to ne oil ne adena here for there. And yeah, young for there. In the Kwame Nkrumah case in 1957, Ghana and independence, you know. That was just the beginning. 1885-84 on my partition in Africa. So America, 50, I don't know how many states in America, maybe 50 states or so. Let's assume that all the 50 states were independent countries with different government, different presidents, with different currencies, different passports, different immigration laws. Are we saying that America will be that prosperous? No. Africa is just like that. And structurally, we'll be in a design in this. Okay, almost say excuse. No, I'm a systems engineer. We are so far literally one TSA is different from when you are studying the systems that run these things. Na duana na se duana nso abapa ko hwe ne hini no ho na be hu se dia to duana na se dia to duana who si dan ya se foundation nya mfa ho de obesi wo so from abone boy ebebu. We should look at the foundation of the education we have, the foundation of even the way we think of ourselves, foundation of our religion, the foundation of the so-called democracy and government that we run, the foundation of the global financial structure. It is not designed for Africa to industrialize and to prosper. And nothing out here Abrofi Baha from 14 centuries. Legon is just about 72, 73 years. Kwame Nkrumah University at Memeko is just about 70 something years. 70, the same. So technical education, no say Kenya no krano. Omu decided say no, we should not give them science, technology, engineering. No. Yenchiro cooking, catering, literature, teaching. Because they knew say the other side now. Because remember, kono and will be intercepting growth. And what they are the phone shame. Because if in education, no almost structure on the mind, this kind of education cannot help us to grow and develop because that it was not designed for us to develop. That's why thinking is so little. It does not matter ni pan so a professor and also a president and also a doctor. The ability to think, to solve problems is not structurally, fundamentally, and yet part of education. And this is education. It's more or less a European education. It is not the way the Chinese are educating themselves. It's not the way the Africans are educating themselves. So you educate somebody, he comes out and what's the government system? I want to say where laws here are practicing common British common laws in the practice, but the culture of the people is different. You build the laws based on the culture of the people. You build the education based on the culture of the people. Everything must be built on the culture. As I said, you have a fish every zoom now. Then I call you to make fly. That is technically that is what has happened to Africa. And so until some of the corruption and all those things that we complain about, they are just symptoms. What is the cause? It's the people who don't know who they are. Broken identity. And that is a fact. You know, that is a fact. And into young ikuta scan de ma foreigner ikuta contract de ma foreigner mi wa foreigner no mfa hwe ma wo da enti na minister ne nyem wo ha no person ko wo America because odwin America is what it's land of opportunity ne ha de odwin say I mean normal bebre ye no who say we no normal bebre enkoye why because of the way we see ourselves and the way we see ourselves are coming from the training, the family, the culture, the education, the religion even is the same because what here eh fa ne nya adwen say nyame be mo ayeye wa nya adwuma want to tell no ma ya obeye nipa no 24 hours what ya sorry them wo bom paye bibi to na wo se ne maame a wan ko school a wote ne ba bi dwene no ho no na ono ntina bibi ato no normally bebre it make sense and part and largely is because of the root in timeno o ka Africa sema men hwe fruit no we share the root and so share root na obeti ase kwan ye fa so tete into corruption is normal na ye ka no se be nye nkwan e bokro no nye no kre me te say Trump will accuse this government so we are election no and well your president min de no ka enti sabe we are see ahihye no ahihye no say bibini no for the last 500 years colonization has not stopped. It's a lie. Even slavery just changed color. It's not stopped. Because how many Africans, whether Jamaicans or African Americans in America, own big companies in America? Tell me. And who person who may be a power war, and also person who may be a freedom war. Look at those who are handling power and money. Because honey prevent ownership, wealth, property. Look at our people. How many of them have all these companies, whether they are from Ghana or Nigeria? How many are in politics in America? How many are owning billions? It's the same thing that is running. So we have to understand it. And there's a structure to make sure that Africa will industrialize it down. IMF is part of it. UN is part of it. The World Bank is part of it. WTO, they are all the same thing. How comes the BBC tell me the Africa to Swahili? In spite of any YouTube now by and then man for whom say, that is not the full story. CNN will never show anything good about us. Look at American movies. They show all the good things about it. So the moment you control the minds of the people, you can control their direction. And that is what is happening. And then I was say, but because the professor of philosophy, the professor of engineering, the professor of psychology from Kwame Nkrumah University, from Yale, from Legon, or the content now, or expert, the content is not African. Therefore, the tools to challenge what the white man has said over the years is not there. Into can't be say, because oh no, we are giving excuses. No excuses. If you continue to blame us and say that we must be responsible, Nipani or bleedy on the ground was the sorry etumrika. And one to me and sorry and tumrika, not just we lazy. No. Understand what has happened to the people, heal them, then they can get up and walk. Sebe, who's a mranty fat desert so mranty o mu nipa o. Who say nipa ne bebre ko ewu ho. But still almost on beko. It is the way they see themselves and the way they believe that no matter what is in Europe, how worse it is better than their life. This is a people who have been broken at this point.
All right.
You know, so we have to handle that.
Yeah, but that's the next question I'm going to ask you. I think say not work at something very deep. Too deep say to me digress it now come be about symptoms. I mean the person being pick point and my table or you say corruption and maybe you say I know they just symptoms that may just sign can see the actual thing one can somewhere design and you know. Now can say be a manage your pass power as some kind. Sabi, maybe to consider the crew. And the crap no can because the crew my way no. Even one more my pain like Africa for my pain partner. What the woman mean and you be limit ya. What the including your mansua. Ya wo amkura wo crew can so no de ya wo akwala no wa ka buy no. One yes citizen by assimilation that say there you mu be free Africa. Maybe through maybe program be kwasi broni dia to no you mu be e buy. Akra ne oba me wo no anti wo no so nimpanwa eya wo ofo na be kire de se wo kuro mu eni anasa na maame na papa ifri This time around, what I'm trying to say is, I'm afraid of what they are in peril. Now, and no answer question. Mommy, young go straight to question or not talk was it. Na a churchlet, sir, we know a man for and yet we know. Metis was a almost at the end of almost as a question again. And no material I'm ground said, Monsieur Yamagu. Monsieur Yamagu, Papa, and you were gonna pop. May I tell you, I was a teacher. So I'm
Okay.
classroom. Yeah, here is Kwame. Kwame is a girl. Kwame is a boy. He is a boy. And you know, Kofi is tamborebo abeba when it does it. And you must say, Kusi, no, Minia. Opening, say, Minia, yes, young Kwasi, yes, a wura. Wouldn't the answer because me do Britano. Me who say, with all the knowledge that I have, no, say, but say, me use so applied knowledge, you know, and find me baby, a word, mamma, not me like it, that technical skills.
Mm.
In terms of the
Mhm.
say, educational system, no, I'm the player. Now, look, how do you use capitalism? America, what practice it? For so many years, I'm working for him. Now, be applied to Africa. In terms of the say,
Mm.
the basis of your argument, you know, was culture. Now, culture is the way a group of people live. Culture is the
That's
real
right.
identity of people. Culture is
That's right.
how you can describe who group of people. I mean, the true identity of people. No, yeah, your first
That's
culture.
right.
Culture, yeah, who you are. I tell say,
Mm.
unsem no, sa na opesa wo kire etie fo mo tie. Enti abusua, ya mamre ne amane ni bi wa ya to agu no. Mama yensan enkofa. If it's American say, open way tradition keep it for Thanksgiving. Now the history
Mm.
behind Thanksgiving is said, I want to say, Quesco Koba Kuma say no. Columbus na yes what discover America, but I know the meaning say it true. If you say, how do you
Mhm.
discover a continent which was already occupied by the Indians?
Yeah.
Because
That's right.
discovery means something that is hidden, nobody has ever seen it, or nobody has ever uncover it.
Mhm.
You come in and you uncover what has been covered, and you term as a discovery. Now, when they buy and Obi Wan and so your history will go say, yeah, discover baby. Until almost through Hano, India for now, from the Red Indians, and I said Native Americans. Or much you
Mm.
FSO. Nature, much you know, so they, yeah, that must say. Now, when you come on fast, what must say. What would the crocro turkey and nobody else had them? Now, when you grow for the way I would almost away baby no moon said, India for no one, and this will meet me, some castle will take over man, because that was the main agenda, so we take over man. And what they did was somebody could do, I had a friend comforter, a friend said, Beship, they moved to Nippy, and Omudi be a woman. And to your ma, India for say, or Monfane Dano, next to say, oh, one I got what I want to finish September. To remember woman, and this is our a ma and go for it to me koya or mutim a day India for good. The natives were very strong because this was their abode. Now, no one knew how to survive. El Hasi. Now, and you company for you, you say, yeah, that's Thanksgiving. November, you didn't know the last Thursday of every November. I feel and Chababa. Opening them see a draw our a through Sabrano. Yeah, what time you would it in a through Sabrano? Wonam kwan so a sɛ wokɔ adwuma gya yɛne africafoɔ a yɛbɛdi pae no ɛne yɛduru a wɔhia so ma bɛda wokɔ ɛsɛ wokɔ adwuma na obiara te fie a anoma ba kora mu sɛ ɔnam ɛkɔ aho akorɔ ɛduru saa berɛ no a akorɔmfo a wɔkurom ha ɔmu nyinaa obiara te ne fie ɛdi biribi ɛte saa nti ɔmo cherish those things no. Now this is their culture, this is their tradition, but unfortunately on our side no deɛ yɛasɛe nneɛma nti ɛmɛ de sɛ wo nso ɔdoma kɔ no nhyira wo sɛ kɔ so ana kɔ so na biribi sɛ na OGB yɛka na menim sɛ ne collaboration ne deɛ ɛbɛba. Look, OGB yɛ deɛ ne sɛ no matter what your ideology may be, no, you can still be whoever you want to be or do whatever you want to do and see it much where we agree because we believe in the idea of what say we are Ghanaian asa. Into my next question, no ananka wo ko do. Person be question and let me read from here. Was say kids born in Africa are desperate to take higher risk for greener pastures. What causes this problem and provide solution? And just simply say, I'm afraid of Africa. Everybody is, somebody can say the reason here, Trini donors, Aquabia, why glass and crown, why popular in say, a gun of form not be a woman say, and some of can near one gun, send your musi a woman, Aquana some can issue to the dam. But America, the person make one if it is will be able to say nothing is free in America. If we say you can't capitalism no. Capitalism you say Ubaya Juma when you about you put it in the system. Open say me Juma at the end of the day, Mesika minya ewa amanoneno, including every Ghanaian be our America no. And you only 1/3 and I be to save. Now 1/3 no, and you will say one not about to because a die car be here. Apartment I would timono, a parking lot would tears our parking no. A coil one am so. I feel so if be property tax. Wakana would not ask what is no, you would do it to your own. A Juma woman, a Juma no, our company now we a woman. Baby, I will pack your card. Who I feel no, you was a case, I will say, Tia, they are my parking permit, including apartment I would take. And to almost everything I hear our Britain. Number one is taxable and free. In America, nothing is free. Two, second way the system have been designed to say a coin be also. At least a move that make us or how much ubenya maybe or man betty 90%. Now we are duma what they were holding and much sorry any alarm no when a move just your first 10% pay. Into 10% in a movie and any money for fear and make kind of be actually kind of say or be 8 and now where something was similar what's what yet on for a country I'm to now will be also $10,000 a month and say I'm passing 10,000 out of the house no more at the end of the month no 10,000 to my opening Katisana Kain and Kobinas Kakaina Kobia Ebricatim Abagana. The recent year will be better Brutina on to me going to at once and I see no. And Tima Sembusan say Yamofrano and I say Yamantiano. I say one more day Piasso. They will go and they will see greener pastures. It doesn't matter of the dangers in it. Now, some of you question, Professor Aroma, young video be now Mr. Obenda, and video. Now, we are what to the boss video no, it is telling. And I must want it here for say is very graphic. And Africa phone call free sub-Saharan Africa. A tuntum, I mean, you can't need to be specific. And no more cross Mediterranean Sea, I call Morocco, and your friend says Spain, because Morocco no any Spain. And the Morocco immigration officers natural. Now, Mama, how they were being treated, how they were being tortured, how they were being molested, the inhumane treatment I did. Producer Aroma, if we have the soundbite, please let's play that video so a TFO will see and then they will. Thank you.
Yes.
نفر مزير غادي
مازالوا داخل مازال كيخرجوهم تقاسيتي البارح
لا
البارح تقاسيتي
المهم هذه السبيطار غادي مجموعه
هذاك الجندرم البارح البوليس كيتقاسم
Yo, therefore, you are warmly welcome back. This is OGB TV. Moson Fasta kwa enie. Yetwa yenkomo hwehwe so with Mr. Obendako. Na mebisa no question. Na me pese yekobo video no ma etiefo ehwe. Na omuhu. What exactly happened? In conclusion, the American say what you witness no. Bibi my Africans. Mo pese wo mo ko ekosigi greener pastures. Abusia, wotie anase wo hwe ene on our screens. You be show a video no one more time, just a little bit of it, without audio. Me pese a sink it deep. What dream? Producer, if we have the video, just put it up so people can see exactly what is happening now. The only one you share with screen you see, Africa for ma, yeah, omokope greener pastures. And Marante and Mabua and Komo Ahoden, the energy, the youthful exuberance here, a bit more yet me. And yeah, baby. At this time, yeah, we see technology and you may develop on. And I'm not going to say I was screen see. Morocco in here. Now, when me sure say, the Bri walk around, and what I want. The brains and we. Nipa monetative and any name more, or more than ma, a chat woman. Or more deep chat woman. Now, the baby say Africa, the band aside and some more at the same. At 2 every chat. Yet the a human being a teacher woman. And the same color crown my from Swahili, a bit na ye woman, and the concern, ye woman concern, ye woman concern, every goose one. Then another pie air pie, pie air pie. Just say young fool beyond, value for life. I hear ever, and no cobrani jna, ye teacher in nipa, says be a moi. The said any a more book, say a more name you say ya. And can we as BBC and Nkomo nyina no akombeka say adama mututi emwasa but akoye ni patuntumunti na de mi say yeni aya Africa for no see e wunye meti say no how do we react abusuya what we do today will determine the kind of tomorrow we want to have and the producer me that say now back to the studio na yema Mr. Obenda ko ensamre mu bio na omeyi asemi ano Mr. Obenda ko asemi sa me bisa wono me say ye mante ne mebro no almost some comparing up as a show. The only when you hear your friends is crazy. The maybe say, a deeper and profaning said, this is what is happening. Will be on Saturday with you, as we see actually. And yet, you will be a Saturday Yajin or Libya, or for exactly the same route. Over South America, how you walk, baby from the Darian Cup, and you're from Colombia, no mafa, Panama, Canal Bimu, Sa no Oman, Nemoa, de Mexico. No be through Mexico, a hawk, and another at the about United States has said. As a say, why would people risk their life for all these things? Now, what can the causes, which is the wine, and then also prescribe solution. But the floor is for you.
Okay. I know some. But a chakosi so say a Jinaquan Nipano, Africa for near. You know, we Morocco. You may say only Africans, but really almost only Africans, almost only Arabs. You know, and Africa, no, we African free my baby Abekobiano, because of the abrophonity can especially Europeans and Americans. Our use media, particularly TV and movies, our spread a bad image about us around the world. Oko China, Kurasi baby Kurana, or James Babetran, free him. Oko England, the Kurasi baby or no crown, no honsono, or James said big on an imsino. It is obiti krumha, the same conditioning, the same problem. Yes, there are things also politicians near your leaderships, and the leadership must do. But at the same time, I think it's more of the way I hear. ene yen shedam nsi ni gina say or say yetete yankrofo no no mote wiase na se na omoji omhudi. That is a major problem. Sebe we mu kra de say omo yamranti omo ni hwe ba ye doctor for ha obetone ne dan akoye nurse for America. Ye wo engineers a obejai de oye bia wo ha akoye security or England because of the propaganda, the branding of the West. You know the way you hu it is say no mranti nyina no odwen say omo dwen say oduru ho na ho te say Ghana na say Nigeria enkomo fasere no so nko enko nkoda odwen say oduru ho ani problem nyina yeden asolve, and it is the miseducation. That is the main thing. Obi beka say iska enyeska. Some of them obi o $10,000 in their pocket this year. I would order ko obi o 50,000, obi 100,000. Sabe be brave was ka omo say nti omo timi fa ka. But the problem is the way you hu and education no nye jesem sika kan no. Enti yen shutu abrofo no down. And yen shutu e wiase ba bia dan. Ye say oho nyina ye esene ha. Sabe ye president jina ho president for mo Africa omo jina no mo kasa wote ye mpanyimfo a omo jina I mean wo TV a omo makotena tena brochire kasa ye exalt oh bibi say twene jina ho no kasa ensema wo kan sabe mpanyimfo no bebre a o se nke kasa we dangerous o se shoot ni down o se boy we ye che no ye nye da enti effect no no na nya twene na start ye we alcohol awo ho a che, and it's because of the training. Meme go school ha onwie no na ogidi se ha no kra no opportunity bi ania obi an shedan kanche o se opportunity wa na sebe enoma na o se kire oye we mu nyina mu no sika a lack of financial education and intina mana basa nipa no kuta 5,000 Ghana cedis o dwen so ntimi mfa nya hwe o mu no se na waka na so 1/3 e de betima save sika papa bi wo America 1/3 now you live on the 1/3 of the income that comes. Which means that most people will tell you, oh, I make £2,000 in England every month. But 1/3 is what they live on. And out of the 1/3, you know, obesan save. So, and so, Obi Bekacho, oh, me buy and my timia besi dami and sawa, and Takwani Tia. So, Odo Banchia womu, Odo Bra womu, autonomous until so names are starting. Now, be timia ye bibi. And Medrian says, you bit my combat is another way more. A serious re-education, especially financial education. Any proper history of Africa, any proper understanding of what goes on around the world, so that when him say what here will be to Benjia when you're better than him, what here will be to Qatar when you're better than him. Some of my videos echo viral on Facebook. Oh, how about say no be free Qatar no send no message. Obi England no send no message. Obi America no send no message. And message in United say me person me back Ghana be bibi. Then I was say me buy and me who say entesa. Me ye adwuma nko a me ni life bia me sora me ti adwuma mu saa obu okra so wonya kakra ho but wonhu ba bia onfa sika no kra nyede emfa me gyense ne nyina no eye noma bebraye no ye nte no ma no bebra asesa e noma no bebra ho ye nte ase ye nte sika ase na superstitions so doso ene ye dwen se obi a yesene ye ya kachi enti kakra kra ye wono ye ni nso si etimi bomoden ye bibi kra ye ni nso wo Ghana ha ena sebe ya mema abrofo ne China ne India for so too much. And no, and I'm an echa do summary. The media say it's more of information because only proper information as I know will be a baby. Especially we mono or more asabi or maybe JSS or SS downwards. University for no the same way, but omono faster. Omuka kope visa no mako, but it's the same thing. You know, it's the same thing. Obi catch them say oko Germany be break ko school akese opoku are prempe fasepem omu we university wa no so mo kwa masters. We masters ni we are the system is said that be brenya adwuma papa bi anye. And they say no maka ho because almost Ghana dey part the woman information. And it was a clear and for how to live in Ghana here and become successful. Because economies need different economies. The economy is not debt economy. And it's all person sit there, just occupy usika, all person talk, just occupy usika, all person go school, just occupy usika. A lot of these other economies are debt driven. Your mortgage, your car loan. But oh yeah, Juma, the moment you lose your Juma, no, it borders on online. Say what car no you be jefferson, and I say or house no you be jefferson. So the difference is that a bit more quiet Juma baby, omunya bosia ne demo. Yeah, ye nyebi. kakra be no why the no hye ne ye na ho na me say ya ka chi kakra akwanto de obi a ame ko ba bia obusua bibi eye ba se wo ka se man kwa menye ye de kwan bi a mefa so free a mekọ no ho na kire se nipa no oninta se bebre and do no aninta se they do no aninta se but it's also because of the negativity. The negativity is heightened and no effect. And
okay. Yo, Mr. Obinda, I'm just going to give you a follow-up question on that. Now, the argument I want to put right with you, just pushing it to the wall. Also, introduction, we be said, also what to find it. And he said, the air cap of Yasami. Producer, if we have the photo, no, per se, photo being told. Now, you share near a Pentiwo, Africa for no dream. And I said, and Kualano, or more, you know, Producer Aroma, if you can put up the photo on the screen so that Mr. Benako can see. And then we will know as we're talking about why people, okay, now, thank you. Now, what I don't know, Mr. Benako, now look very carefully at what you're saying, okay, on the screen. Picture that tells a story. Share Africa, share Europe. Now, this is why a man tell me say omoye you know, wamu echo akoye nema echo. Because you will good. Africa is one of the most richest continent in the whole world. Because Africa, and the richest continent here. I don't think Africa is the only continent here. It is the most exploited continent in the whole of this universe. Or maybe also. Asasi was almost all the developed countries, you know, for Africa. Talk about the Chinese, the Europeans, the Americans. And from one of them, Africa. So it is a whole picture here. One will say, the producer put it back again. I wanted to watch it the second time again. Probably he's one of then I have got me make sure the entire I'm not telling person omukon. What is the penti or oma dream? I'm not telling who say. This is why we have to go and raise our life. People can also make counter argument because me the example say also what you wanna go hobby. Now when him say near idea, I don't know what they want to now we catch them for say that when I didn't until Mr. Bena Guadaruma. Mr. Idea contrast him say I have to push you. Senator, you come up with AEBM. What is your take based on this image now? Would when you say Abrantia was arguing with the tribunal? How do you convince them? And that is the reality. If you think that I'm lying, go to a Ghana. And why? Ghana street depending good. Was it a better of Mesa? Good be adequate. Since coming from a town, and I did before coming from a town. I don't know too good more. What you mean, answer? I cost one. I don't know any to go to a grown. Yet the intimate any good a first say. Reserve away grow. Let's see a channel. Baby, you go to Canada. What are my same idea? And I think was a Montias to Tobos, not teachable. Thank you.
What's me call Medase? What's me call Abrochile school na mkoe. Na no kra no me te say. What's me ka say omo call up to SS no. A lot of them will dare to go through the desert. You know, me will invest, you know, me visa. Me mama papa America actually. We are citizens. So me person me citizen kama me na me say there be person bo me bra or Ghana ha. I'm to Seattle.
Okay.
Because ra omo no me hwe ho a me say there be me ntimi wa ha. Me dwen say gift ni talent am wono. It will be easier in Ghana. And me dem me jaw ma say mo. Omo te say me a say be me nyini no, they say me imagine am hu ye. Na me dwen say America ye. Na me dwen say Europe ye. Me call England, me call other countries or Europe, the same thing. Me tuono me who said entesa. And the man kopesika or honor the back. School am call no grano school am just here. Say net minimum and casa school in Kamenko. Because information with the man, no the behind ye. You find your way. The best thing is say, Ukwa trouble of what chow. Easily.
Okay.
Na utinu at what you can crab in a back room obey. Because they say no James abrochano on Kobe. And today be no oil. Now, picture now the two horn. Mining companies, oil companies, no these companies. European companies are Europeans now running, Americans now running. President Gas will be contract to say, America for the two.
Why?
Baby.
Why? Opening patch why? You know why? Why will your friend say our leaders do that? na young citizens no yet because look as my weekend now producer put the picture up again where look as na makatelo but the percent for look today we need to really get to the bottom of this nonsense no now it's here for Africa and the Europe Mr. Bernard what's my weekend can say companies now Africa no and Ghana to be specific majority or most of them your friend say foreigners any dem a wo send you mo pictures pe I say identity why
Identity. So, Sabi, Ghana no 1957 na Kwame Nkrumah so the no. 1860 something or 18 something or 1884 mo chiche mu na Britain. Ghana could be Britain se mu na almost so mo you know ebesi ne no. Sa de nin change you. Abrofo na ye no mo wi ase. Ye nim mo suban. Infrastructure and systems or modi atu wi ase no. Se ba ye omo kwa na so mo di ye ne ye hu. We have million and or the thousand we have brown or the other. And no also a greed. It's greed from the West. It's not so much greed from African leaders. Because there are a lot of African leaders. Just a small mistake will take you out. Look at a lot of great African leaders. Through coup, who will sponsor them? After all, 1 and 2 coming from a free. It's not CIA. Sebe on the mistakes. But Nkrumah twice so maybe Nkobe correct him. Can Nkrumah do so 20 years? Can no man be bring a or free so you two know the next 1 month now IMF organization you are so more be Magana alone. Nkrumah has one concessions in the contract here.
What Kwame Nkrumah just say Kotoka ne Ankara no ne Afifa no.
There was no way or more expertise, you know. Or more expertise, no, can't mean to know. Omunya support from all these organizations.
And can but almost say so can say because in reality, no, I know say these guys did the actual work when Nkrumah was away. When in 66,
I will not put it that way. No.
Okay, put it in the way you think you know. Senator for you.
I will not put it that way because I know night 10 be around say. Yeah, ne aje blame na my home. Ne aje blame na my home. Ne aka say yeah. Ba ku bi amfiri emu ankogina masa ye de ya ba ku be free mu. So omo so omo ye ni papa te say de omo ye ni papa na. Ada na wo so mo nya omo nko. No omo antu omo ho. Why did you have to come in? Because if fear be a they obey mensa bi wo. That the fact that some mensa bi wo no nkyere say wo no awo super because let's face it, they have the military power over us. Some person is America, Britain, France, on person be capture Ghana say here. We have no say. Your weapons were even. And that was it. If they are against you, they will take you out. And that's a fact. We should know that. So that the only reason I'm call Russia, for instance, is what? It's because Russia is delicate for them. They have nuclear weapon. If they dare, he will throw it. And into no monko, military power benio. So that strategically weakens you. And it's will be here. They will use this or they will come directly and take it. Embassies are Ghana. All these embassies are the way they treat our politicians, you'll be shocked. If there's a contract that they want, their people want, and you decide not to give it to them, all the sanctions they will come up with, you'll be shocked. So that is the position of Africa. It's still a weak position. Let's face it. It does not mean saying to me, you bit my ADP. But on the grand scheme, a weak. If China were to be like Ghana size, they would go there and take everything. So who are treasure, but then who need tools, who need power, who need protector. And to be all power to be an creative story. No, that is not an excuse, but we have to understand it. There should be proper explanation why you are sick. Then you can look for the solution. But whenever you are trying to explain, then they say we are coming out with excuses. It's not an excuse. Strategically, fundamentally, that we are in a weak position. We are in a weak position. And a lot of the things some push on us, push, you know, it's because they have some advantage over us. Kwame Nkrumah, they took him out. It's not in Ankara. They took him out. They trained them. They brought them money, weapons. I think Gaddafi. You don't tell me it's a Gaddafi or microphone. So that's it. Anybody who tries to do well for us, They will come because there's always a weakness somewhere. You know?
So the question
maybe
is,
the position is that.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Maybe
Go
position
ahead,
is that.
finish your
So,
thoughts. And then,
also, kind of correct. Now, you are for equity, fairness, human rights, and then let's say it that way. But you don't say it with your mouth and practice another thing. Because we don't really. Africa's problem is that we don't understand the people we deal with. From top to bottom. Just like an animal. Obviously, it's there. They are being treated like animals. Animals are even treated better than the African.
yes.
You know, and these
right.
are the facts that we must embrace. But no,
you're right.
And effort to that. Yeah, what did we do to partition Africa? What contribution did we do? Where? See the now, you know, or more the dollar, no one move or musical. We contribution again. And Timidin said, you're normal way, but on the ground scheme, there's a lot that is going on that we must understand. And the powers that run this world, they go for money and they go for power. If you cross them, they'll kill you. And that's a fact. So you're in the year where Mugabe. Look at Zimbabwe now. So it really does not matter whether you're doing well or you're not doing well. If you cross them, that's a fact. Oh, America. Look at Floyd. Police officer. Oh, cool. And he didn't blink. That's the system. And this same system is running everywhere in the world. You know, so sometimes your political leadership, they are just there as an excuse so that we can blame them. But the systems that run, it will take a while. And so indeed, you'll be free, you're free. You know, okay. Indeed, you'll be free, and you're free. And education, our leaders, plus the systems that run, it will take a while. It will take a while before we can stand to say that we are people with our own destiny. It will take a while.
Right. And therefore, Mr. Obendako, Kwabena Obendako, and some and Chinese come to train by every year. We bring what my things about African spirituality. He has given us the pros and the cons. You be Sano, you be a for didn't tell you, I'm not here no airco Europe. To say they are willing to take any risk, whether Ghana will tell you if you do or die. When you or die be done, we say do or die. It does obey and as obey. And you know, not just as some but what did you know? Say there's only one way. Say you discover our true identity. Let us all come together, and with that is the only way we can fight those things. My next question will also be. Where you woman from Africa. Into Yanko and Kwalaya woman. Yenum be Aba, a bell Kwalawa. Or may be American citizens, it be European citizens, it be your first British citizens and stuff. San Kwalana, so yeah, woman who enters a kids born in diaspora are in peril. That is, they've lost their identity. Now, so here is the kicker. What role must parents play to help them or the kids to contribute to Africa's development? Opening, I'm afraid I want to come Hasino. Say, no, media, I control the multi. Now I will speak to near my Wahasino. And probably we wish Yama. And number one, who can Ukrum Casa children or say until Ukrum Casa? May a Christian in the Casa, and a child of Sunday school. In Blue Casiada, now church and Palano, especially a bar Africa name, because mostly me take opportunity. No. And your Bible was some because Bible was a baby or a history. And I perform was some and a woman. And to take that opportunity, no, just to talk to them about Africa and Ghana to be specific, or Mufrino. That is the kind of education me person passing to them. But so Kasana would the tree no bemupe. Ube at least about 95 or 99% of Emofrano that will be a wedding. Adania, as a kind of want it. Obibenia on take Nukrum Kasa. And you Ubeshia other nationalities to say Pakistani, Indians, Spanish. Now, over there, omo kasa Spanish ni abetra kroma sei na ne ba no one ne tia wakofa de maame aba ana onana no onti e brofo no nti akwara no et Spanish nti yakoba bia no not translate kasa no actually this happens now and then but Ghana body just say ye Ghana for ye kohia mu no ye Ghana ni a wote abrotiri no anwo aho ase ne ba no kasa oni asset na woka arish ngotomre no kwasi bro ni die ni bi America ha die no ye kasa ti no na ye yi afri mu ye ka water is water no me ade na ye yi afri mu no eno Ghana ni ne ba okasa kasa no ye no ni achi asebusa bi bisa nyane se enkola no wo munyini so koduru ba bia wo ko school koduru ba bi no na position bi wasen kan nsaka no na America bo kwasi koko na system e wo aha no a kire me se wo waseni a typical example Kamala Harris ya wo ye vice president of current vice president no wo say ye ya me a kire na se o papa say o mama say I didn't think ni ebata Obama baso they did the same thing Sabio omampani badi na wo so no also a European American because some America for almost history that the Americas one more friend akwana friend America be schools so some man no ba one more your friend sem for almost for Europe and no trying because of high taxes no na na omode ba say but none of them and say ye can be na identify omo ye ka say we Irish American but a true yen to force na ye describe ye nko ade a na wonim de ma na ye hunu se ukopɛ dwuma ye e wa America satiswa adwuma na akɔpa ye ye bisa se race by na wo asoma me kan obi a wo ma nim Europe de but America can attest to American system no na ya say race na ya chiro white ya chiro Asian American Indian American black again black or African American ye de awu no kroma no etuntumfo no mkwa de mfa se omuni omuche no enti ye manu ko school no afi o mo bo mu degree na bi no wo be through your friend saying what do you call it sa pepe so no afi na akwa ni bisa no say who am I where am I from na akwa na gira na identity no afi no I confused na ye wo say from since 1980 be do sabre me no kase no at least ye benya a very good sizable amount of emofra ya wo because before 90s na Africa for number obesuya de na omoko na omuni nkrata but way back in the 1980s 1990 and America I mean America the example omo introduce what they be DV diversity lottery America they kind of diversity lottery America bro for America was you know na ya no professor oka me yi team of film diversity lottery okay now diversity lotto mama follow the lotto the bragana dia no enti ano na omodi ba ya wo Africa yesi ye be to American lotto no ma bebre ene nyina na ekoso enti wo ba no dia wo beduru ha no na wo ukuta nkrata sa brofo no bi so wo ba no afale ama na yire obi afare ama ne maame obi afare ama ne kunu ana ne ba na mo so ba enti wo ba wo legal documentation no na ye bi abawo ti say America ha na ka me say Ghana for baby ti say Virginia baby ti say Georgia baby ti say Worcester baby ti say New York bia boboye no ye wo a very sizable amount of Ghanaians who are even Worcester kura de Ghana ni bi ekostande mayo ewo ya nanka wo pe yakọ baby ti say baby Yekun Floyd no me kai state no me cast Minnesota Somalia for omo ye omo mfa se Africa for wonya no omo na population e do so and na omo timi atu aba ama US Congress yenya Congress woman be for no your friend say Ilhan Omar we Somalia ni the first Somalian now is a US House of Representative but a boy and a meeting ako enti ye mani bebre wa opani ye omo yera o omo ntimi kan ye kasa ye nuane omo ni ena bebe wo kodu so no system no akeke o ma check wo mo se wo Ghana na wase efri enti asem ne ba na akopɛ o ha na ye no na tag wo position be akopɛ bianti me srewa pay your experience no what role should parent play overseas to contribute so that these kids can know their identity and also so that this case no e dey na obeka kire omo so omo tie ne sa wo de brofo be frem a because it is so take.
Okay.
I almost bet me. Ed woman it be a CEOs, it be a bit of Africa. What I want. Thank you.
All right. The fact is that once you are history now, so normal way you want to see it. Na you free Ghana no history no ya. So Ghanaians, Nigerians, especially West Africans, or maybe entire Africa, we know culture, but we don't know the African consciousness. Our depth of history goes just from maybe slavery and colonization. And when you study history,
Penny, Jinawa, to was repeated word video. Was we know what culture and we don't know not to what's it on us only a deep.
they say you name culture
And what
you name consciousness as a race. And take Ushia Obia or me free Kumasi Bantama na or sakete no fragment to ma no yusu because or doing saying skin tuntum or culture but only consciousness because or doing say the moment I will be raising brony and then the normal say yes no you don't have an African identity, and the identity is from the consciousness and it's data backed. A data is not like Obesio, a data backed, and that comes from that's why brofo almost the Greek civilization. You see how they start a lot of things from the Greek civilization, but the Greeks were taught by the Africans. So one categorize history in Africans, the Greeks, and all the achievement, the scientific achievement of the Africans, the great achievement of the Africans, the academy. So we are African, let's say Ghanaian, Nigerian, now America, now Obano want take us and we need this memory. That time be our Africa is when we came to meet the Europeans. Slavery, colonization, you will be a weak person. And without that consciousness, there's no identity and there will not be any freedom. And you cannot fight the white because then they will always refer to you as a slave or as somebody that they colonize, even though they did not colonize everywhere. As a matter of fact, by 1900, by the time that they sat at the Berlin Wall, only 10% of Africa was under their control because they were afraid to enter the forest. They were on the coastal belt. It's only when they did that, then through those organizations, they were able to so-called capture some bit of Africa. And so once you are history here, then you'll be a weak person in Africa. It does not matter whether you're America or you're when the first constitution was established, Africans were not human beings. Never forget that. And it's still in the blood of America. First constitution, they were not human beings. They were not counted as humans. Into a lot of innovations near the African. A lot of the innovations.
I feel like I was shocked.
No, just check your first constitution. Africans were not human beings. At the establishment, when they were establishing America, Africans were not considered as human beings. You could not even go to court and say something against the white man. Study the history there so that you will know.
Okay.
America has gone through a lot of processes, but the color has changed. But the systems that run America will take a while for them to see us as full human beings and allow us, just as you said, the vice president, anytime you come up, they would pull those strings because for them, Africans were captured. But that is not the entire truth. It's not like everybody there was a slave or every country in Africa was colonized. That's not true. And for instance, the Ashantis fought them and won a lot of wars against them. So the Fantis, the same, they fought. It's not like we were weak people. So you need to teach these young people that you come from Ghana. You may have been born in America. Be there, be proud American, but go and study the history. Because without the history, you have no identity. And if you don't have any identity, you have no strength. And if you don't have no strength, you cannot fight that system. Because that system was built to see you as nobody. And that's why you go to England, it's the same. The world will evolve, all right. By the turn of this century, maybe half of America will not be, will be Africans or the others. Half of the world will be Africans, actually. So eventually it will change. But the moment, maybe in your lifetime, it's not going to change. So study the history. And don't start to deny it and say that it has changed. It's not changed. Why did it have to be news for Obama to become a president? Was it not a human being? It was a human being. But the problem was that the world does not see him as a full human being. Especially the world as projected by Europeans and white people. you know, and the same thing has affected even Indians as well. Indians don't see blacks as human beings. The top fair-colored Indians, the iron people, they don't see us as human beings. Do you see it? You look at the caste system in India. The downtrodden, the bottom is skin. And they have even put religion on that. They have put religion on that. So the memory, that which will help you is the right history. And it's not just the one that started in 14th century or 15th century. It's the one that goes beyond that, so that you look for the heroes, the empires, the kingdoms that the Africans run, their contribution in science and technology over the last 5,000 years. And being proud, say, I come from Ghana. You have to learn the language. That's why the African Americans who are very comfortable and not frustrated by the system in America are very comfortable as Africans. Look at it very well. They may not even have direct family now, but they still see themselves as Africans. And they embrace it. They don't fight it. So the moment you fight your heritage, you're a frustrated human being. And the other people will not accept you because you're not white. So be comfortable. I'm a Chinese. The Chinese is not trying to be white. He's a Chinese, but he's American. So you have to say that I'm a Ghanaian. I'm an African, but I'm here. You know, and I'm proud of my heritage. If you don't do that, you cannot even become great in America. Why? Because when you go there, the system will push you back. And that which you will lean on will be your strength in your identity, in your heritage. That you cast back and you don't see yourself as a slave or as a colonized people, but as a great people coming from great continent, great empires. You know, for instance, say your Wobi now or your Hineba. Now all along he didn't know that he came from, let's say, the Asante Kingdom. The moment you tell that person that, oh no, your grandfather was the king of Asante, that person's perception will change. You will see himself as a great person. So the memory you have is okay of your greatness. So never compromise that. Unfortunately, the kind of education you are given in America will not give you this. You know, it is constantly telling you are nothing. And so when they grow, they will have nothing to fight with. And that is the reality. But the moment they establish their identity, no matter the hindrances that the system pushes on them, they can fight and win. Because then you are not afraid. You understand how they behave and why they behave the way they behave. And when they tell you that you have not achieved anything, you know that is a lie, because a lot of things that you have achieved. The Africans, Plato said something. He said that the Africans are giving the world science, arithmetic, geometry. Plato said that. You know, before Christ. This is like 5 centuries before Christ. He said that.
Yeah.
You know, so who gave us mathematics, science? Go and find that. The Ghana Empire, between 300 AD and 1000 AD, it was an empire. They were mining gold. Maybe 2 million people lived there. They had science. They had their own currency. They had their own hospitals. They lived like human beings. The Mali Empire, the Songhai Empire, the Ashanti Kingdom fought the British several times. Study those things. Because the world has been designed to constantly tell the African that you are nothing. And never embrace that. You know, never embrace that. And the moment you connect with this history, you can fight and become anything that you want to be wherever that you are. After America was built. So you see, in this world, if you don't have an identity, then anybody else can push you. You know, somebody said that the Africans are like somebody who had an accident and lost every memory that they had about their greatness. So they went into amnesia, you know, and that is what has happened. So a lot of our people, it does not matter whether they are doctors, lawyers, engineers, the education that we've been given is been built in the absence of our dignity and our identity. So we are trying to capture the identity of some other people, and mainly is European. And the easiest way for you to overcome any people is not to teach them their greatness in their history. You know, then they have nothing to fall on. And so the one in America who's born as a Ghanaian, if you think that your life began in America, you are weak, they will push you and you become nothing. So what Africa is how they define you. So whether you were there or you're not there, it really does not matter. For them, when they see you, that's why if you carry my name as Darko in America, they will ask you, where do you come from? Because in them, the hegemony is European. The world is European. Any other, the first time I was in America, I heard of minority. I was like, oh, why do you call a people minority? Where from that? What do you call somebody minority? And who is majority? Because in Ghana, we don't call anybody minority. You know?
Yes.
So your humanity is taken from you constantly from when. So there's serious microaggression. There's identity crisis. You're not proud of yourself. You're trying to live up to a certain, but it's not really you because there's frustration. That's not how you are. So human beings are really free when they have the identity, and you cannot build the identity until you have strong sense of history, not told by Europeans, but by yourself. And I'm saying that don't begin the history from colonization and slavery, but far beyond that. Your greatness in religion, in science, in commerce, in everything. You know, so take it upon yourself. Go and look for African writers, those who have written about our greatness, our great achievements. Study them because they did not give you that. You know, and you cannot even fight as a president. You see, Obama came to look for his father. Obama is a serious student of African history. So he established his identity. That was why he was able to fight.
Yes.
You know, he was not feeling funny because he understood where he positioned himself. He understood where he stood. So you are doing yourself the service if you don't study this history. If you buy the negativity that they have put on Africa, the backwardness, the underdevelopment, the corruption, you have destroyed yourself. You know, because you cannot disrespect your heritage and be great. It's never happened anywhere. That's why the Europeans are always talking good about the ancestors. In spite of all the evil that they have done, you still don't hear of them trying to play them and you know, say that they were evil. They don't say that. In spite of all the evil that they have done to the world. So how come you quickly embrace all the bad things about yourself? Because you have not been taught. You know, so study that. Go to now the internet, YouTube and everything. There's a lot of history that you can teach yourself so that you can become great. And that's where I started actually. After first degree in Ghana, there was nothing like that. So there was culture, but there was no consciousness. So I started to study. And I had no problem living in Ghana because of that kind of education. So everything that happens, I understand. You know, so I'm not frustrated. I'm not because of what I know. It's not because it is different in terms. It's the same situation for everybody, but it matters what you know, and what you know about yourself. And history is the beginning of education. Really, the foundation of education is history, especially the history about yourself. You know, so if the history about yourself is weak, you are not educated. You are not educated. You can speak the English, Queen's English, and say potato and lottery. You're not educated because education, the proof of education is that you can solve problems. Especially you put your people first. You make life convenient for your people. If you're not doing that, you're not educated. You're not educated. It also means that the foundation of education that they gave you was wrong. And I dare say that majority of us, that is really the case. And that's why the children don't want to come because they have not been educated for themselves. They've been educated against themselves. So they think that is an opportunity to live in America, but it's not an opportunity to live in Ghana. That's not true. A lot of Chinese come here with zero. And after 10 years, they have fortune. It is what they know.
Wow.
It is a lie for you to believe that the world is Africa. The world has always been Africa. Europe was nothing. It didn't industrialize until they came here for centuries, for 2 centuries. Then they started to get money and they started to pick technology, wisdom. Then they industrialized. The world that you see only could industrialize because they had come to Africa. So never cut yourself from Africa. Visit. You don't have to come and live here. But visit, come to Accra, go to your village, talk to your people. There's nothing like it. Don't cut yourself from here. If you want to do business, come and do business. Build industries here. The Chinese are here, the Indians are here, the Lebanese are here, the Europeans are here. And yet they continue to show on TV. Nothing is happening in Ghana. It's not true. There's a lot of wealth. Africa is the wealth of the world. In Ghana, there's no dream that you have that cannot be realized. All that you have to know is what to do with the vision that you have in Ghana. But it's a land of greatness. We have built businesses from zero. There is no support from government or support from any politician. It is what we know as a people, So, and there's nothing like it. I get up every day, I'm happy. Why? I'm not looking at some British man looking down upon me or some American man looking down upon me. I'm proud because this is it. And the contribution. And life goes beyond just what you eat and where you sleep. You must leave a mark. You must change somebody's life. People should look up to you and have hope. That is the greatest honor to be as a human being, changing lives. So you don't just live for yourself and say, I have a Range Rover and a car, I have a job, so that's it. No, that's miserable life. So go to your village, go to your hometown, talk to people, come, be an inspiration. And let's all build Ghana, let's all build Nigeria, let's all build our continent together, because indeed, that is all that we have. And America will respect you when Africa is great. That is a fact. That's a fact. So that's how I'll conclude.
Wow. Thank you so much. This was really deep. Now, the youth or the younger generation who lives in the diaspora, Mr. Obendako said something that I just want to piggyback on what he said. He said, life goes beyond what you can eat. It has to go beyond that. He is talking about making a mark. The question is, why are you on this planet? What is your mission? What are you doing here as a human being?
Yes, sir.
He also mentioned of what? Your identity or the things you know. And I have a favorite quote I usually say. I said, your level of freedom depends on the things you know. And Mr. Obendako, you really nailed it. And this, because I want the youth to understand, that is why I have changed my language. And to speak in a language, if you don't speak any of the local dialect, at least now you have heard that we have to think beyond the food we eat or the clothes we wear or the what do you call it? What I call it the non-entities. Where people say I have cars, I have buildings and stuff, who have died and they buried them with what they owe or they had on this planet. You came empty, you will leave empty. But if you're able to make any impact by way of what the great one put in you, your legacy will live forever and ever. And this is why we remember Kwame Nkrumah all the time. Ebusia, and somebody was why emotu, and somebody one kame pese or better than boase. And Tibu wana me kateno. Katia me kateni and say me pese or turn a boase. Then somebody wa me or repeat it as because I think we're too deep. Me and Gasamiti no. I find they said me tini I catch up and to follow up with him. But so I don't think this will be the last program we do. We will do more. Now, your friend is saying, OGB, so your philosophy is in line with this ideology with the Abbey. And nothing will be a tear to me who say, and Cabo Ehunia. If we say to me and Cabo, there is no way to be required, as you say, yeah, or maybe I a friend can. Based on this negativity, any self perception, because maybe back from Hamiko College, make sure essay, I'm a professor, one of my English classes. Now, the topic was that perception. America. Intimate true or frame it, no, beside say. Point to be a reason why did I do all these things? Because who can move your something? I'm say yes. Me who say by your sanity. Or and you didn't come to baby no. As some will be Sam and say that you be made to say me per se, me quite on my penny, I will Ghana. Sabra, I was shocked and surprised. But Onu Obronino, knowing what they know, almost a nipa ukasasam. What you know be when yati,
that's right.
When himself wouldn't be able to and two Chinese for oneself. China near Bagana, zero, Onishi, and yet they will leave billionaires. Why? Because of what they know. So life is all about what you know. Knowledge is power. Send the account. Ebusia. Say, who share and say, Utiena. OGB, a general in a no. And nothing will be was say, will be a sacrificial generation. Even if it will cost our life, we will put our life on the line and make sure, say, and Chima, and what they need to get. America, I mean, can we miss our last question? January 6, 2020, no, 2021, and America at Tuaba. Yahano, democracy, no, Sabrina, you certify your friend is saying 1 and you will be on my penino into your US Congress. Now, Omoya den one, and any baby a burro. I'm saying, we always screen so. Now, yen a torture, and now a man, America, you will tell me if a crime has no expiration date. And to yet a children phobia. Now, Bratty about what you say, a day I wouldn't say a higher federal land. Not a year against over a tiabras of a call. Now, quest I was sick, and some more tea when a sumo. Not a chance to say, well, no freedom, any liberty, any enjoyment or enjoy as Wunipan. Nema woman, or a baby say, obey a penny to someone, or just freedom. and they were the Kwame Chaso. Now we're fighting and perform at this time. Abrante na some kind of ade a way no akoso no adwuma edan ya no timu the mortgage ni nyina se eye dan so no adwuma ye fa na adwuma wo America ha se no ye odwuma bi wo akwa ontimi nye ne nkwa na nyina wo because of a crime na wo committee anything but Abrante ni say on found he is willing because ne otiye ni say ne ba bi dachi wo nya freedom na wo nya ni bi we any ade a obroni odwene no e wo na twemo they think about the progeny they think about the future Ebusia, your time will be here. OGB is not against any race. OGB is not a prejudice organization. Eyanukura and Eka. Nempenisi, baby, I was saying, I give it to someone front to what if we talk. And we will spew the naked truth. And look to the baby what will flow, me money flow, and some be what yes, or hit it and someone because hey, where they dangerous and wet. Now so, and Ukraine was working. But me issue disclaimer and say, we are not here to denigrate anybody. We are not here to pit one race against the other, but we are here to speak about ourselves as what Africans, as Ghanaians, as people with a patriotic heart. Now, open here to say Ghana, no, every dream can be real. America is a land of opportunity. Opening any you can't that for Ghana for America ha, a big good deal. Ghana for America ha, sadly a biaka. And that will lead me to my final question to you. You better come and say no opening. We come here. Some of us we come here now very young. Oba so enchemeko, and so meko opening oba no. Na what your friend say, what a care home, and now say your friend is saying, baby, you take care of and one in kokora. Me one penny for be wa. One back on woman kwa maybe or better not come say. One going to my eventually or yare a crew 829. You carry 9 me no kase. Well, to me, I know so I will grow. And to the system, a ship is so bad, the better baby no, na to me. And to say, I was some say, eh, yeah, say, can you buy one? You bet a penny be a penny, now immediately you get it off. Now you call you in cheap, I call you baby. And now say, you better try. There may be area, another Jamaican area, not what more, opening a friend of Thomas, what in ya. Messi when you vet fibrotic cables. If tell or Africa, you opening with a yambre. Ye you soon want what you said, and you may win the Munino, and Ninano, I yet condemned to Crebo. And tis our loose and ye name say be car without talk, nay a mono, nay one of the query, a cannon, a general, one of your good baby, nothing a car without winter baby. No penny, no disrespect to him. A friend of Wabagana, ye see only and for ma, a friend's a gun, any Africa as a whole. I will be a use soon. And we would need to know. And just a son say, a year, say a beco early. And now say, young train, they retire, yes, Yadi, the social security because Ghana no emotion. Miss Rewa, where they are going to follow. Diaspora's not what you have. It will be a wood Tia Seba opening Ebeke. Now we are, concluding partner. Thank you very much.
But that's it. Mejoin says Ghana da wakoma so dia Africa da wakoma so dia. Won't you so all your days there and only send money and still complain why we are not developing. You know, whatever you have, the expertise, especially your energy, to help to build something here, I think we must. In your desire, more, you know, and my nipa na chichiri. My classmates, I mean, we tech also coming from almost half live outside the continent. And yet we are complaining that we are not developing. If all of us run away, who will develop here? So maybe the American say, you have to live beyond your personal comfort. Just as you said something, said the man said that he will sacrifice for the future of his children and his grandchildren. I think we must have the same mindset. We must sacrifice for the future of our children and our grandchildren. And it must go beyond our comfort. The dreams, the things that we so hold dearly, we must make sure we realize them before we leave. And so maybe the maker said, they have to look here. And if you can, come early. Ghana will be idea. So whatever you have to do to make sure that it works is our responsibility. It's nobody's responsibility. It's not the responsibility of the president or the politicians or the church leaders. It is all of us our responsibility to do whatever that we have to do wherever we are so that our country can pick. Maybe if you were there, you could stop it in your village, in your hometown. You know, maybe you are the chief, you didn't take it because you wanted to live in England. Maybe you were the headmaster of that school. You could have changed a lot of children or a lot of the students. You didn't. Maybe you should have been in parliament. You know, maybe you should have built business, built industry. So if you come and you're 80 years, you have that little energy. So I think that we must see it as a war that we all have to engage in, and we must fight to develop our country. We must be optimistic and positive. Leave the negativity for CNN and BBC. We must see the opportunities, even if it's 1%. We must see that, and we must start to talk good about ourselves and about our country. We have heard all the negatives all our lives. Let's change it. And we have to be patient with ourselves and with our people. If you miss it, Ghana no misika. Who did you give the money to? Did you test him before giving him the money? Did he have the expertise to build for you? You know, so a lot of the times it's the misjudgment. I went to start a restaurant in collapsed because the people took the money. Did you know how to manage the people? Did you learn it? The fact that you are from Ghana does not mean you know how to manage Ghanaians or manage a business in Ghana. There are processes that we have to go through and learn. So if your people, you are not a business person in America, you came to Ghana, now you're a business person. It's a transition. It will take time. Even if you're a business person in America, running a business in Ghana is different. You know, but all of us can learn a bit and pieces and make sure that we contribute here. So don't let us give up on ourselves. We must come and contribute. It is our country. And nobody will respect us until we show up. Whenever they talk of investors, I say, but investors will not develop our country. It is us.
Yes.
Which country have the investors in developed? It is us. It's young men and women building businesses, playing their part in any organization that they work in, and having that consciousness that it is our responsibility to build our country. You know, so I would say that, Omomra, if you can, come and live beyond that. Be proud of yourself that you're contributing, you're changing something, you're significant change, like what you're doing. It is significant. You're looking back to say, what can we do? What lives can we change? What is it that we can do beyond what the politicians are doing? And these are all responsibilities. So I'm thankful for what you're doing and your heart and your spirit and all the people that you're putting together to say that we cannot sit back and watch it go into destruction. It is us. We have to do that. And it must go beyond our comfort, as I said before. So whether you are 50 or 80, look back. Don't say that people still live here anyway. Do they go hungry? They eat. You know, we have to take it upon ourselves to make sure that we change it. So the next time you come, it is not the Indians and Chinese building the big houses and running the big businesses. It must be us, Ghanaians. We must be the wealthiest in our land, if nothing at all. It can't be foreigners. And we must change that. So thank you.
Wow. Abusia, and then Kamiko, Naka programming, Kayenye, Nayan Twasso, Nanso, a penny, a draw away a better one, Now, remember what my final word based on commodity in our home. Messai Amawadi, the book on Masam at to debut. Miss Abena, the promise I will give is a penny for a bow. What do you mean penny for in Ghana? I've already done that. I've spoken with Director of Operations. Say on the you be come behind the scenes. Now books and so yeah, quite first one. Yes, you be promoted. I will get a copy myself. Now me pe quite the first one. Yeah, the pass if we can get it online, well, but me more chance no. You can tell us so that it will be to me aye. So say what say you purchase no by a go shop on so. And then the bias no is in our hands. You be na ya be na to me aye. Na yet me promote book because it means adwene nim de ne bebre no e wo trem Africa no unfortunately people like this no yeah more bigger platform now so what they want train Emma will be American to so media may know you are not giving yourself any excuse now when you say OGB so you also going to be a very very big help in terms of what because yeah OGB yeah say we don't care what you do we don't care what you believe yeah say what the enkabo mu nko that is the first step say you better make up opening the way no. Me because I believe in Kabomutino. I 100% support what you're doing. Oh,
Fantastic.
if there's anything that I can do, because I believe in unity. And Kabom was an outcome. America, a whole wetty hammer. Almost a country of Romano, a yet dang one any whisker. Name
That's right.
was awesome. So, into your man, one would say, God of war, motion, ya, Mutia Manone. Mo mano and answer. Then penny say, Mayana Maya, any man, and now. Procrastination is always a thief of time. Asasi we so, the make catch say ye ni bre asasi we so. Then penny say ebre we ye ni enkaso. You have no idea when and that time one or do not know what I say will clock no a best stop it. If we say our time is taken every now and then, we have to strive. And what's a salary energy no because maybe consider our age, Ghana ni awuti ama no ni awome, and I say wuti me. So when the 40 in about 50 years to come, now it's asasi we so na. Even if you're supposed to get 90 years. Next one 19 one. Because I was watching Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time, in Atlanta. Time I be Olympics gamer. You see one koso your friend say one for you koso ejabia you could have koso. Na nipa they be no your for. Why I mean one of the most very famous athlete. Na nsa ewoso, nsa esheki, eshiva say ya. Na papa yi ontumi nya dobe na mse akomko ebusia men say wadaje men say obre don't waste all your time arguing talking about and someone emfa impuntu emma and until omega na baako aba now put up our website your website in here you can join our website at www.omeganabako1.org www.omeganabako1.org ebusia ko na ko register Ghana for yeti akonto mo yeke kan homo asante foku enfante foku konongo mampresi ye friend say enkara foku ebusia say sa ko no nyina mo ma ye hwe impact ye make you ye nyema kakra but say sa ko nyina ye betima ka bom e say we all belong to one Ghana ebusia anka Ghana akonanim dwunama ye na Ghana ma e wodia why na catch us Ghana enya yi why na catch us Africa na Ghana the poorest country on earth. Say the poorest country there, possible in one, and to why in the Cromo, a himfa. What is the source of the wealth? Why are the Indians coming there? Why are the Chinese over there? Why are the Americans over there? I think the company say, oh, no, and your foreigners young obey if it's poor as we think it is not. Mr. Obeda come back to us, say, Yenny sound negativity in every no. If free neko, what's some of the cano, our influence, our soul tone, our influence, our decision making more tone. Yama be akwasi akwa mani abra etimi tietie mu me ha mani e wa fidi kese we enyina eso ne se yan hwe ya ye ma no dache ye betu agu babi ye ma be san konkoso mu bio se woni ma me ka kire wo ne entokwa dey see Ukraine and Russia. Why are we blaming it on the later city 820 we see about to walk 100 meters? Why? Because we don't know who we are. Because our identity, you lose your identity, no? And this is what OGB is calling. All in sundry. That what we do today will determine the kind of tomorrow we want to have. I will close by saying this. Guatemala Buddha was this a person with the Wadachi, a beya, Shenya, currently what you are doing. Into your present situation will determine the kind of tomorrow you want to see. If you want to see a better Ghana, join this course. Mama, join me or Bedako, my join my Ghana Bako. Not together, you march forward. Send a crime and and I quote was say, forward ever, backwards never. And together we will move and we will head on, and Ghana will be okay. So what you say? Say you will share your comment. I was here. Now, call register so our website. Miss Obinako, but remember the final word. So we are not just a program no. Abane we here. Wana Roma, we could not person was account and was in bio. And social media handles so. What they are so best at to give you. Now you didn't come over which what I want to. I'll give you the final.
Okay, that's Mr. Akwa and Omangana Bakofe. My books no benya bi hard copy ewo Ghana here. Your shops no envy ewo malls no or Ghana. Oko Amazon Kindle so ni nyina ewo ho. Perspective, streamline, resilience ni nyina ewo Amazon Kindle. My website obendako.com.gh. We have courses there. as well. And the books you can purchase from there as well. YouTube channel, we have a lot of information up in Daco. And Facebook is the same. Or basically, that is it. And because Ghana, we can change the narratives. It is our responsibility. It is our duty to change that. Our greatest fight is the mindset of our people. That's our greatest fight, how we see ourselves. And so the moment we attack that, all the other things can fall, you know. So thank you. Thank you.
So, thank you very much. Our greatest fight is our mindset. And not the final word there, okay. Ebusia, on this, we will draw the curtains down. And then Moson for Fansakwa may not be D Jumedi who actually Jumedia almost saw your senate and I do not come so your senate a Ghana Pan African Teas. Ghana Pan African Teas, a Kubataya. One would almost say over the Ghana shall so dear. No enina ever enter the Edia Maye. When's your identity nibi? Atadia obeshan so it may identify. Wo share Casafoni one, a mad, ye hoodies no yade. Baby, I will be based on the weather no. Ubetimi enya bi ato elho. So we talk order online no. Ebusia shipment no free of charge. You heard me right. Now ubetimi visit ekoi ewo www.GhanaPanAfricanTeas. www.GhanaPanAfricanTeas. Ghana Pan-AfricanTeas and then simply affordable. And then I had an idea to make the ABC. I my grandpa, the best I shall be. On my one, Osham, the Bremoson for France, Macram. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.